I just wonder, like, if during that phase I use, like, bomb guys, once they get up to, like, height, once they're not on the ground, will they even get hit by those attacks? Or can they just drop bombs from above, and maybe that's the way to go during that phase? Or something? I don't know. Oh god, where the hell is the Fire Octo? I have an Ice Octo too. Okay, well. Maybe taking as little damage as I can here. I only have so many Healy items. Please. You missed, man. Oh, and that deleted that guy, yeah. Didn't delete my Octo. Like I was hoping it would. I gotta remember the order these things go down. Yeah, it's way too many phases. So many phases with no checkpoints in a game where you can't directly attack and you have to rely on your AI allies. Of Link plus the ones that you summon. Like, this is genuinely torturous. A multi-phase, no checkpoint final boss where you have to rely on AI. Fight for you. Like, genuinely, who thought this was a good idea? Okay. I don't know, Fire Octo. Okay. Let's see here. I don't know. Maybe it was balanced around the idea that you would have, like, full hearts at this point and not just kind of, like, bum rush through to the end like I did. Let's say I had some of these guys down, and they just did, like, bombs away. Will they even get hit? They might not. I don't know if their DPS is all that good, but, like... Oh, did they already take a thing out? Whoa, Link's getting pretty jittery. I mean, if I don't have to worry about constantly respawning them... Maybe they're the play in this phase? Maybe? Oh, something took a couple of them out. Something definitely did here. I don't know. We'll see if they still are potentially the play during the part where there's multiple dudos around on the ground. It looks like they can get hit during, like, the smackdown animation. Looks kind of like. Maybe they're not the play after all. I don't know. I can look around some other 2 or 3 notches. You're going to be stuck in place, and I don't know what your DPS is going to be like. If these blew up immediately, then that would be great. But they don't, so, like... What's this going to do, huh? Let's see here. You think so? I don't know. We could play pinball here. I can basically get an attack that way by, like... just pinballing constantly at my foes. Something, I don't know. Maybe. Try to get range plus melee or something. I don't know, here. I'm going back to doing old reliable here for now. Of that plus whiz robe. During this phase here. You guys suck. Okay. Get him. Okay. Good job, Link. You got it. Man, how much I want to be playing Link right now instead. Or just Zelda with the sword fighter form. Just some way that I myself can engage with the boss a bit more. Is what I would very much like. I'm not entirely sure. Like, it feels very much like that sometimes. I think that normally they do have the same health as when you fight them in the world, but, like, there's certain attacks that just immediately kill them. Like, if the boss kind of occupies the same space as them, they seem to immediately die. Certain attacks in general, just, oh god. Well, I mean, maybe now with those areas, now is the time to just put down a few of these. Because they won't be affected by those danger areas, right? They shouldn't really care. Just do that. Oh my god. Well, I did not want to have to spend 2 healy things this early into the fight. That sucks. Here, just choose one side, and the moment they start doing it, start going to the other side. What I better do. Okay, sometimes they're taken out by the initial smackdown. But the actual danger area, they are not. So I think they're the way to go with that. Kaboom. Can I take that dude out? Maybe, I hope. Well, like, is this the max amount of triangles you can get in this game? I'm not sure. Maybe you can get more. You know, like bullet hell games, by the way. Is this feeling kind of like a bullet hell sometimes? I haven't actually played all that many bullet hell games before. I honestly can't think of any off the top of my head. I think they can be fun. I mean, I played Nier Automata, if that counts. And Nier Replicant, but that's not as much of bullet hell. But Nier Automata does have segments of bullet hell. So, I mean, I guess I played that game, let's say. But, well, during times that I've said that I've played basically every genre of game on this channel, now that I think about it, I don't know if I've played, like, a game that in itself is bullet hell. Like, I've played games with bullet hell aspects, like Nier, but not an actual just straight up bullet hell game on the channel. That's why I'm gonna have to do a playthrough at some point, and then I can say that I've done that genre. Yeah, hardly bullet hell. There's Bind of Isaac that could get prayed bullet hell. Yeah, I've definitely heard that about that game. It's bullet purgatory. What's going on here? Like, none of the individual things are ever all that hard. The difficulty comes from just how much damage I'll take from the odd mistake that I make. And the fact that this whole boss is just about dodging and not me being able to engage with attacking the boss myself. Okay, come on. Yeah, the moment the boss goes through them, they just, like, insta-die. Rather than having their normal health pool, it seems like. Okay, come on. You miss. You suck. This would be a little bit better if the AI of this game wasn't ass. But hey. Get him. Okay, I don't think I can dodge while I'm carrying Dudos, so, like, I don't think picking them up is the, is a good way to go. My index finger is gonna get sore from all this bumper pressing of dodge spam. That's what's gonna happen. Oh, get that stupid arm. It's gotta be close. Surely. I mean, I've played games with roguelike elements. Like, the Myth Force is actually one. That counts as a roguelike, is the case. I did actually do, like, a full roguelike playthrough, Myth Force. And then there's ones with roguelike elements, like Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, that I've played, where there's, like, a roguelike mode. But yeah, I have played one roguelike game, Myth Force. I played it with Anima as a co-op playthrough, actually. Was the case. Okay, skip, skip. Where's my shark? Do. Okay, go get him, Sharky. Nom nom nom. I was about to say, are they actually dodging around the things? Nope, they are not. Imagine. Nom nom nom. Chomp chomp. Isaac is amazing, but yeah, considering you don't like long games. I typically don't. It's just I don't want to play that many long games like here coming up. Because basically all the games I've been playing lately have been like super long, and I want to chill out with more shorter things in the nearest future here. I'm starting to get really tired of the never-ending things. Things like Persona 3 Reload and Assassin's Creed Odyssey are really making that sink in for me. I feel like. Nom nom. Give me that. Nom nom. Chomp chomp. Yeah, this game, if they ever do update this game, would be good for a roguelike mode. What, you get like different summons each time that you run? That'd be kind of cool. Like different things to play around with in your kit. Yeah, I think that would actually be kind of a cool idea. It'd be kind of neat. You know, I think it's the type of game you just play when you feel like it, but you have to play a ton to get all the endings. Okay, boobity bop. And knowing me, I just want to get through it. Because there's so many things I want to play on this channel and not enough time to. So I'm kind of trying to get through stuff. Like, hey, at least once this game is through, I will basically have a slot in the schedule for some sort of already released game to add. which I do think the next one is probably going to be Final Fantasy 16. So I'll finally open up the schedule enough to play another already released game outside of the ones I want to do as like prerequisites for other things. Like I played Mario and Luigi Partners in Time and Metroid Prime 2 in preparation for new games. Played Mario and Luigi Partners in Time in preparation for Brothership. And I played Metroid Prime 2 in preparation for Prime 4 coming up. So, like, it feels very rare that I'm getting the chances nowadays to be playing already released games, non-new ones, and non-prerequisite ones. Like, my schedule keeps on getting filled up with the new releases and what I call prerequisite games, which is just, like, things I want to beat before new stuff that comes out. So, the fact that I'll actually have a slot here coming up for a non-new, non-prerequisite game is gonna be pretty hype. And I guess we'll see what Final Fantasy 16 is like, because yeah, I think that's what the next playthrough that we'll start around here is. Alright, let's see here. Closer to the Roller Coaster Tycoon games where there's no true ending, that's just the nature of the genre. Okay. Just kind of you play it from time to time and have fun. In that case. Maybe I can do this. Okay, come on. Slash one more time. One more time, maybe? Ooh, we can get 3 slashes. That's more attacks than 4? That's more than my Wizrobe can get in. So yeah, maybe he's the play in that situation. Like, Wizrobe is best out generally, but when I can get in close for an attack, this guy is the play. Okay. Come on. Slash, slash. Get him. Found a design for your skateboard might design be Numa's Blade from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. That sounds pretty hype. That sounds super cool there. At least the music carries the battle a little bit. The music's pretty epic, I will admit here. Whoops! I messed up! I messed up! Come on, get that arm. Nice! Yeah, he's definitely the way. I'm taking out these arms so much faster now. Okay, pick a side. There's gonna be one more phase on top of this when he starts summoning Ganons. And it gets crazier and crazier. Okay. Get that arm, please. Please. Come on. I wonder if I would get more DPS by spawning, like, more lesser enemies or something like that. I thought I was equipped on the other guy, I'm gonna be honest. No smacking me. Okay, so then we do this, and we get that arm. Do I just have to hit those ones, or do I have to do all of them? Maybe it's all of them. But now you can't do your special attacks, I don't think. Yeah, so now we just kind of whittle you away. It'll be time to use my Wizrobe here in a hot second. I'm surprised it's not time yet. Yeah, so you get your special attacks from those. Gotcha. So now you can just go around smacking, not doing much else. So yeah, that gives me more opportunity to take out these arms. Okay. So that's definitely the play. Let's go after the Luma ones first. Sir of Isaac is amazing, but God is not a happy one. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Okay. Would this be the strat? Let's find out. Whoa! I think they're probably just gonna go after the generic enemies too. I'm doing this again. No, go after the arm, damn you! Oh my god. Well, I need to dodge this first. And then send that out. And I still missed the arm. Miss me with that? Come on. He always prioritizes the little enemies more than the arms. I just have to hope that he just inadvertently hits the arm in his slash that is aimed at the little guys. Is all I really have to hope for, it sure seems like. This is fine. This is fine right now. I can take one more hit. These guys, I'm pretty sure. Okay, please go after that instead. That'd be nice. There we go. Slash. Slash. Oh yeah, the Fire Octo is setting these guys on fire. So definitely more worth it than the regular Octo in this case. Please. Stop going after the small guys! Go after the arms! They're the ones spawning the small guys! Please! I don't know if that even hit the arm there. Okay, keep on spam spinning. Oh my god. Well, now I gotta do a heal. Time to glow. Please. Oh my god. I didn't even see that guy. There's just so much chaos going on in this final boss. That's kind of hard to keep track of everything. Come on, please. Ooh, do not slash immediately after spawning. That would suck. Come on. There, now you're targeting the arm rather than the little guys. Rare that you do that. Okay, is that it for the arms? Nope, not yet. Come on. Oh my god. Yes, go after my summons rather than me. Oh my god. Yeah, I think my spinning is extending the time before that dude emerges. I think is what's going on. Come on, there we go. Okay, come on. Come on. Is there a little guy still in the field over there? No, doesn't seem like. Come on, get him. Okay, here come these guys that'll one-shot me if they hit me, so it's damage reduction time. Do I have enough hearts here? Here, let's do this. And then this. Damage reduction. Spin that way. Look out for any summons that might be blocking me, because I feel like that's probably what happened last time. If I had to guess. Alright, get the things. No, don't target that arm. Target one of these ones. No! Come on. Ugh. Block for me. Ugh. I think my strat is go into a corner to hide it and have my dude block for me as best I can. So yeah, go after these things first. Put this guy in the middle so he for sure targets an arm that has a guy. And not one of the ones that doesn't. Oh, and of course Link went after one of the ones that didn't first. Okay, spin around this way. There's not going to be any Octoroks in the way. I know for sure. Okay. We're doing that. Go this way, put him in the middle. Big smack it. Nice. Don't know if I have time to get that. Oh, a little bit. You have a little bit of time for that. Okay, find my corner. Here, block for me. Whoa. Okay. So, go after that one there next. Okay, and Link just took out those arms anyway. Alright, come on, take it out. Please take it out. Please take it out. Come on! If I get hit by that, I die. So, like, I feel like better safe than sorry, but I also want to save it for, like, a heal. Ooh, I'm not gonna get hit by it. There's no one blocking me. If that hit me, I was gonna be so pissed. Come on. The Octorok is perfectly set up in the same position. There we go. Okay, keep on smacking him now. There we go. Keeps on going, this boss. Hopefully this is final phase now. Well, it's arms and then final phase. Now it's the Lizalfos one. And those guys. Okay. Just come out already! Stop teasing me! Like, I can take a hit by a Lizalfos, so it's a good thing I didn't use my damage reduction heal thing before. I'm conserving it. Okay. You're gonna dash at me. I know! I knew it! How much damage did that do? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 hearts left. Realistically, I need to take one more hit from them. Oh! Please don't be now. Yikes. Be ready to open my menu and heal, like, at a moment's notice if one of them hits me. I thought I tried to summon an Octorok as well. Guess it didn't go through. Okay, come on. Stop going after the regular guys. Uh-oh! I didn't even notice that this thing was coming out. There's so many things going on at once all the time here. Do they not attack me while this is happening, though? I can still do this. Uh-oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm gonna get rid of my damage reduction if I do this. Unfortunately. Please. So I can use summons to get me out of here. Okay, come on. Yeah, I would very much like Link's help. Please. Okay, there we go. Always the damsel in distress, huh? Okay, so just the one arm left, though. Hopefully. Come on, just get it. Oh my goodness, the openings are so small. Come on, get him. Do not get grabbed. Do not get grabbed. Do not! I saw you coming. Why are the openings so small? Just get him. With the super tiny opening here. Oh, okay, here we go. This is hopefully gotta be last phase. I really hope. Or else I'm so screwed. Come on, get that orb. Thing. Okay, go this way. Okay, go this way. There's no Octorok blocking me. Okay, go in the middle here. And then Octorok. Please. Get a little bits of damage there I can, if any. Okay. Go around this way. Be very careful about where my summons are. Please. Please. Stabby stab. Come on. Figured it would probably be these guys. Whoa, he did protect me. That strat does work. He's going right into chanting rather than doing a melee attack first. Come on. Okay. I knew I was gonna accidentally do that. I'm too lazy to call them back. That'll be faster. Just putting down new ones to replace them. That'll be faster than the staying in place to call them back button. Okay, come on. One more here. Nice. No more summons for you now, right? So it's Wizrobe time. That looks like something that's gonna hit me, and I really don't want to risk it. Oh, it's so good I did that. Holy crap. If I get hit by another one of those, I die. Because that's 6 hearts of damage. I have 5 hearts left. Oh my god. Well, I popped the damage reduction right in time, but now I'm worried that another one of them might also just kill me. Is why I am a little bit worried about. Please say this is the last phase. I need to not get hit by anything else, because I think it's just gonna one-shot me. Like, that was such a clutch damage reduction. I saw the attack coming, and I had the menu open. Please. Wrong thing. Please. Please say that's it. There's not another phase. The music isn't stopping. The music isn't stopping. Unless I go up and interact with it. Wait. Go up and interact? Oh, I grab it! Give it to me! Okay, please say that's it. Smash the A button! Imagine you don't do this right, and then you have to, like, refight it. I'm a cat. And it's shiny, so I want it. And now I'm gonna knock it off a table. Wait, that's Dialga's roar again! Right at the end, we got it one last time! I wonder how many players notice something as little as that. I'm just built different. Give it to me. No. The Triforce can grant wishes. I need to use it to wish to become a cat forever. Give it to me. Main quest complete. The Prime Energy and Null. Yeah, here suddenly comes another phase. Imagine. Now I wish for all of you to disappear from this world. You're so ugly and weird looking. Get out of here. That shall be my Triforce wish. I look so goofy. Are you sending the Triforce to the stratosphere? You're probably just sending it out of the still world, right? And forgot I was in the still world for a second. Well, and there's like a special effect over people returning now. I assume everything is being returned. Also, how many phases was that? I lost count, honestly. It was a lot. If you want to count, like, each new attack set as another phase. Because if so, that was definitely the most phases I've seen in a final boss in a long time. Zelda, the rifts will disappear, and your world will return to a state of peace. Oh, it's auto-advancing. A does nothing. Me and my friends came here to heal an injured world. Also, why are you still wearing that thing? Now that Null isn't around creating rifts, everything will be okay. With Null gone, there's no need for us anymore, so we will return to the goddesses to slumber. Why? This is where we part. Like, even if you're not needed anymore, do you necessarily have to go to slumber? Like, why can't you just, like, big chill here, realistically? What's wrong, Zelda? Hyrule is back to normal, and me and my friends have finished our work here. But you seem like you're not happy. Man, you so badly wish you could be Fi, don't you? Oh, I understand now. We won't be together anymore. I mean, there's literally no point for leaving, but they just wanted to have, like, a sad farewell. Try is leaving, so here's the basic excuse for that, I guess. And that's kind of sad, huh? Zelda, when I look at you, I feel all warm inside. I think I want to tell you about this feeling. I'm feeling thank you. I didn't understand this feeling before, but I do now. I guess they tried to establish it throughout this game that Tri didn't really understand feelings, and I have to go. And would it be explained by different characters, and then would Zelda be like, hey, maybe I am feeling this thing, and then expressing at the end here, I'm grateful to have known you. Like a true understanding of feelings and expressing that. It's meant to be like a heartfelt moment. See that development right at the end? Thank you. But like, I honestly never really cared about Tri during this game, I'm gonna be honest. Like, give me a, I wanted to call them sidekick at first. A companion character, that's probably a better way to say it. Like Fi or Midna or something like that. Or even the King of Red Lions, and that's a character that I will genuinely care about. Tri here, I really did not. Honestly. As another example, I can say Navi. Navi I didn't really care about either. Probably feel about the same as Navi as I do about Tri. Maybe feel very slightly better about Tri than Navi, because Navi literally had, like, no character, like, at all. Just, like, there for the sake of targeting and a voice for Link when Link can't talk. Had to explain things. Tri was just that, but slightly more character. With the whole learning human emotion thing. What the hell are you wearing? Good God! Uh-oh, what's Dad gonna think? He's pretending to be supportive, but really he's dying inside. My daughter saved the whole land, but as a consequence, she's now a cat girl. She's now become a furry. What did Link say? Did he swear at everyone? Did he just drop an F-bomb? Right in front of the king. Shocked everyone. So sad that Tri is gone. Now is it credits roll, or is there another scene? Yeah, now it's credits rolling here. Well, in terms of the phase of the final boss, at least 8. I think it's 13, however, like the first 5 phases were extremely short. Yeah, it's a lot. I'm really looking forward to seeing how speedruns shape up for this game. That's definitely something that I'm looking forward to with this, I will say. That'll be interesting. You can finally stop wearing the cat costume. Zelda null is no more. Yeah, as if she would retire that. Alright, well, that was The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. Where do I even start with this review here? I guess starting out with the story, I do kind of like how, well, first of all, like the whole premise twist of now you're playing as Zelda rather than Link. Like, that's something that I've been looking forward to for a decent while. But the execution of it was just not all that interesting. Because playing as Link for so long, it's like, he's a silent protagonist, he's never gonna say anything apart from like the little bubbles that you select, and then he just like gestures and then people understand exactly what he means. Even if he's explaining like a massive situation that just happened and explains every little detail, people just know it just by gesturing. So I thought like, hey, if the day ever comes that we get a Legend of Zelda game where we're not playing as Link, or we're playing as Zelda, or whoever we're playing as, someone that's not Link, this is going to be an amazing opportunity to have a character that actually talks and shows emotion and shares ideas about the world and expresses what's going on in their head and stuff. Well, we might be playing as Zelda in this game, but just like the mystery gang unmasking someone at the end of the adventure, it's literally just the same person anyway. It's just Link. The main character might look like Zelda, but in terms of her character, she's literally just a Link. Which is so weird, because that's not the way that Zelda has ever been in any of the games. Even the very first Legend of Zelda game, I'm pretty sure she spoke, even if it was just to say, like, thank you, Link. Like, I'm fairly certain, right? Like, it's been a long time since playing the original Zelda. It's been many, many years, so I don't exactly recall, but I'm pretty sure Zelda has always at least said something in any of the games that she's been in. So, the fact that they basically just turned her into a Link in this game anyway, makes you ask, what's the storytelling point of playing as Zelda then, if you're not going to do anything interesting out of it? If you're just going to have her character be Link anyway? Like, one of the whole selling points of this game is like, hey, it's the first Legend of Zelda game where you play as Zelda, but secretly, you're just playing as Link, as a character anyway. Like, I get that the whole point is that they felt this gameplay system didn't work as well for Link, so let's give it to another character and have it be Zelda, but like, have her express what she's feeling about the world sometimes, or speak, or do anything that isn't just like the super blank stare and just being completely emotionless and never saying anything. It was funny seeing Zelda and Link interacting, where they both just stare at each other. It's like, wow, this is super insightful and super interesting, isn't it? So you really need to try in the relationship just so that something would be said, like, at all. There was that. I do like how the final boss wasn't just Ganon. I kind of like the twist of, oh, the Ganon that you faced at the midpoint of the game was just an Echo himself, and there's really a bigger bad to kind of raise the stakes. But then it does make you wonder, what the heck happened to Ganon then? Did Null defeat Ganon and then create an Echo? Like, yeah. Like, there was no real explanation for that. And yeah, why don't you have Link speak in this one? The one journal from What's-His-Face, Impa's brother, was like, oh, the Void took things from many of the children that went missing. For Link, he lost his voice. And it's like, okay, well, there's an excuse, I guess, but what's the excuse for Zelda, huh? That's the excuse for her, then. But yeah, so I did like the twist where it's, like, a different villain. But, like, Null didn't really feel all that built up. Like, it wasn't like a persisting lore throughout the game. It's just like, oh, you got the goddess's sanction? Here's the explanation for once there was Void, then there was not Void, and Null wished there was Void. Like, okay, talk about, like, the most cookie-cutter villain ever. So, yeah, Null wasn't exactly super interesting, and really no explanation for what happened to Ganon. I just got our text from a number I don't recognize. Hello, can we talk? I get those from time to time, or ones that are like, I have job information available for you, or a position that I think you'd really like. It's just gonna be like some sort of scam. Like, I wish there was a way to just block everything that's gonna be a scam. What else about the world there? The overall story was just kind of very meh, not super engaging. The relationship with Tri felt kind of forced at the end, that it was like a sad farewell, because, like, again, like, our purpose here is done. We don't have anything left to do here, so I guess we're just gonna go fuck off now. It's like, why? Is there, like, a story reason why you need to fuck off? Like, it sure didn't seem like it. It's just like, our role here is done. We're not needed here anymore, so bye. It's like, but there's literally no reason why you can't just stay, so just, like, a forced farewell. And I mean, with the whole not really having all that much emotion, or not understanding emotion all that much and kind of learning it along the way, Tri just basically felt like bargain bin Fi, is what Tri felt like. Like, Fi just did that better, and there was, like, a lot more heartfelt farewell with that, and, like, a better reason for needing to stay behind, being sealed away with the Master Sword at the end of Skyward Sword. Like, that, I felt like, did it better, like, with her expressing some genuine emotion by the end, and having, like, a longer adventure where we kind of developed that. Tri, there was just a couple cutscenes along the way where it's like, what does this thank you mean? Or what does grateful mean, or sad mean, stuff like that. Oh, I guess that's something that I'm feeling now that you define it for me. And then that coming full circle at the end of, like, I express thank you, so it's like, you could have seen that, like, a million miles away. Like, the way that it was even just slightly set up there. But it was just like, yeah, here's a couple bits where Tri's asking about emotions and then thinking, huh, I guess I do express that. And then expressing gratitude at the end. To be like, whoa, Tri totally grew. I could not care. Like, I really could not. The plot where Zelda was a fugitive was a little bit interesting at first. But then when no characters acted in a logical way to try to clear her name was pretty ridiculous. The fact that we saved, like, what are they called? Like, lieutenants, advisors, whatever the heck here. We saved the left one first, and then she was like, I guess I'm gonna stick around here with this guy and help him with his research of the rifts, which, as far as I'm aware, has zero impact on the story whatsoever, that rift research. And it's like, okay, if you want to do that, why don't you go do that after you go to the castle and clear Zelda's name so that she's not a fugitive, considering, like, all of the, well, not all of Hyrule, but all of the kingdom, all of the Hyruleans are searching for her, because the king literally wants to execute her. Like, that's a thing that's going on. But no, you're gonna stick around here and help this guy with his research in the rifts that has no impact, rather than going and trying to clear her name. Like, at least the right guy was a lot more logical, being like, hey, I should go and try to clear her name, and then tries. So, like, he's clearly a lot more smart than like, the left person there. As you're counting them up there. Jeez. So he was a lot more logical. And then, like, oh, there's, like, some reverse counterintelligence, or just some counterintelligence strategies in play by the doppelgangers, what with, like, the passcode that's going on. Like, so I like that a little bit. But then it never really is going to come into play, needing to thwart the doppelganger, because we just immediately go into the Hyrule Castle still world at that point. I did kind of like how the midpoint boss was Ganon after that, though, and then it's like, okay, now we're building up to the true big bad. Echoes will text at me if you lock onto it, if you didn't realize. That would have made the final battle so much easier. I don't know how good the lock-on is in this game. That would have made things a little bit easier, huh? Would have made the final boss less painful. Oh, well, too late now. I don't know if the game ever established that. It established that I could lock on, Whether it established that whatever I'm locked onto, my echoes will attack, I'm not sure. Maybe it did and I forgot, or maybe it just didn't. Damn, I was too late. You time traveled to the wrong time here. It's just the immediate thought that I had, because that sounds like something a time traveler would say. Like, anyway, hope things are going well today, though, Fox Cyber. So that's the story there. So, yeah, the only interesting elements are, like, you play as Zelda, but it was messed up because she's basically just Link. Zelda being a fugitive is kind of interesting, but none of the characters really acted logically, except for Right, to an extent, and the Doppelganger King with, like, the passcode. That was only, like, very briefly mentioned. Those are, like, the only logical things that were done. And again, there's not really a big build-up towards Null. It's just, like, exposition after you get the goddess's sanctions of, there was Void, then there was not Void, Null wanted Void. Like, whoop-de-doo. I really don't care. Like, it's really not a boss that has, like, a real presence in the story and makes you care or have, like, a realistic motivation. But, I mean, that's basically what Ganon is a lot of the time anyway, of just, like, recycle the same thing of wanting the Triforce of Power and to take over anything, so it's not like there's much different with this game, you could say. But yeah, so the story, really nothing special at all, I would say. The graphics, I thought, like, are generally pretty charming. I didn't have all that much complaints with the Link's Awakening remake on the Switch. I think this has its charm. I do understand some of the sentiment of, like, the lighting not always completely fitting, and I guess this can go under graphics. The lag, oh my god. Like, the fact that this world makes the game lag more often than not, it felt like. The fact that it was pretty much always lower than 30 FPS unless you're standing still made the game a lot harder. Like, I don't know if that's something that's going to get patched later, but the fact that my game speed was always variable because the game speed was tied to the frame rate, it seemed like. So I'd be going, like, again, it was never as bad as something like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, where, like, you slow to a crawl or freeze completely as you're going around the world, like in that game. But the fact that you'd be going, like, just a little bit slower than full speed as you go across. Oh, full speed for a smidge. Oh, back to a little bit slower and have to deal with these, like, constant switches. It was not great. And it's so stunning that Tears of the Kingdom took, like, a full extra year of polish just to make sure that it shipped out in, like, a completed, like, fleshed out state. And then this game comes out and it's lagging constantly. What? Like, I guess the in-house Nintendo Zelda projects don't have, like, the same regard for quality as the ones that they get other companies to make or something like that. But the fact that a Zelda game came out with constant lag issues is genuinely really embarrassing. And yep, did indeed beat it, Guzma. How's it going today? I don't know, is there anything else really to say about the graphics there? In the final area especially, I sometimes would find it difficult to see some of the purple enemies in the purple backgrounds at times. Maybe I'll think about other things here shortly, I don't know. But for the most part, like, the graphics were kind of fine. Oh, the initial fake-out final boss of, like, the Doppelganger Zelda as she flies through the air and you have to hit her in the air. Dealing with the graphics there, I found it really, really difficult to tell depth sometimes, and I would think I would jump and be right on top of her to hit her, and then it turns out I'm actually, like, a decent ways off. Like, it was actually genuinely pretty hard to tell sometimes. I think that might be everything for the graphics, then. Maybe. Like, it's generally pretty charming, but, like, it has its issues here or there. But yeah. Now they have the whole week, I'm gonna play more Odyssey. I'll probably play a little bit of it. Like, I'll probably play Odyssey on, days that I have, like, big updates to share, because I'm not in any rush, just as long as I get through this DLC before November 22nd to 24th, because that's when I plan on doing the final DLC. So I'm really not in any major rush to get through Odyssey, so I figure I may as well, like, spread it out across when I have, like, more interesting stuff to share. So on Monday, I'll be taking my truck in for service and seeing what the update with that is, and I've told, like, a lot of truck stories in that series, so maybe I'll save streaming Odyssey until, until then, on Monday or something like that. And then Persona 3 Reload, I'm gonna have to wait a while with, like, grinding. So the only other thing currently on the schedule that I can stream right now is, like, the final map of, the thingamabob of Unicorn Overlord, which maybe I'll do later. Like, once I wrap up this review, I'm probably gonna go out and help my dad tarp up the boat for the winter, and then probably just come back for, like, some late night chillin' later, or something like that. 9 phase, 10 phase, it's still going on. Still counting that. Oh, I I was really tired and I didn't get the chance to see it, but right after I wrap up stream, like after this review, I can check it out like immediately here. When we went fishing, caught a ton of smaller fish, but only one keeper, had a bunch of dolphins that came out. That's pretty cool, at least. But yeah, I mean, before I continue my review here, realistically, in terms of the game schedule, let's see here, there's display capture 2, and then if I go to schedule here, boobity bop, alt tab to that, yeah, it's these 3 plus 1 map. Like, there are these 2 things, but I'll just do those on, like, specific dates. Like, I think I'll just do this at HoloLand, and I'll do this for, like, the 1-year anniversary on October 6th. And this will take me, like, an hour and a half. I can do it whenever. So, I want to space this out for when there's, like, more stories that I can share, and this is going to be spaced out for, like, when I have time to grind. So, realistically, if I want something else to stream tonight, or / during the weekend, it's basically just this I'd have, and that'd be, like, really short. I can do that whenever I want. I'm in no rush for that. Because now this is done, and I don't feel compelled to, like, keep on going around and do other content. Like, there is other main content that I didn't showcase, like Dampé's automatons, but I really don't care. This game didn't really engage me a whole lot. If someone wants to see what Dampé's automatons are like, just, like, Google that. Got getting to 11 there. If you play Unicorn Overlord, gonna yoink your unit builds. You can also probably see them during, like, the finale part. Or not the finale part, like, shortly after that. I'd probably go over it at one point. I don't know. But yeah. Also, I'm catching a 30-pound bull shark at the end. Oh, jeez. It's gotta be 99 phases, that's right. But anyway, because of that, and because I still have some time this weekend, Guzma, honestly, if you'd like, I could probably start streaming Final Fantasy 16 later tonight. If you'd like. And then that could be, like, my game that I hop into whenever I have time to hop into something. Because AC Odyssey and Persona 3 Reload, I want to spread out a little bit more. One for more stuff to share because I'm in no rush, and the other for, like, more chance for grinding purposes. So just to have a game on there that can be, like, my regular stream game for a while. If you, did the stream cut out right when you said it? I was saying, if you'd like, I could probably start Final Fantasy 16 later tonight. I'd have to set up my PS5 down here. Swear you're not making it up? Bono, wait, BRB? Alrighty, I'll finish my review here. So there's the graphics. The music, because I'm gonna have the most to talk about the gameplay. I thought it was pretty fitting. There wasn't a mass... It was 11 phases. Get up for 11 phases. Jesus Christ. That was an 11-phase final boss, if we're counting different attacks as, like, different phases. Which, honestly, I would. I would count getting new attacks as different phases. Holy crap. An 11-phase final boss, where if you lose anywhere along the way, you have to restart the entire thing. Alright, you're back, Guzma. Best final boss ever, most definitely. Maybe I'll put on my DVD stream playlist on shuffle so it's not, like, completely silent here. Here's Cutting Fox's Pokemon Black and White Unwavering Emotions remix. And then there's, like, music going on instead of silence. I was just saying, Guzma, that because I only have, like, 2 other ongoing playthroughs, both of which are being spread out. One, just because I'm in no rush, and then I can, like, share more life stuff going on. And the other is being spread out for grinding. I could just start, like, Final Fantasy 16 tonight if you wanted. Right, we started talking to you, the stream froze, so I missed absolutely everything you said to you. I was just saying that the other stuff is being spread out on purpose, so I can, it's doing it again! Never mind, I'm not starting Final Fantasy 16. 5 per half kind of makes it a little bit of sense, but Jesus Christ, yeah. Yeah, maybe I would have been able to fight easier with more triangles if I went around, like, sealing more rifts. Plus, if I got more hearts. Here, I'm just gonna type in. Because it's glitching out there. I can start FF16 tonight if you'd like. I'm gonna say. Because Guzma's the crazy mad lad that literally gave me the PS5 that I own it on. So, like, I do owe it to him to, like, play a game that he'd like me to play. So, and the fact that it's taken this many months is already, like, a decent while. So, now that I have space in the schedule, I just figure, like, I'll start it when Guzma likes, because since he's the one responsible for the PS5, and that's the one game that he requested of me, that I should start it, like, when he for sure has time to tune in, because I know that'd mean a lot to him, is the case. So, yeah, maybe we'll play that later tonight, and maybe I'll have more fun with that. Can you say that again, Harmonia? I didn't hear it. Yeah, once more for the people in the back here. Anyway, the music. Generally, I thought that the music worked pretty alrighty. There wasn't very many themes that I could find myself probably remembering after the fact. Like, I think my favorite relaxing theme was probably that one water villagey area, that one human water village that I thought was kind of relaxing and nice. But most of them I just thought, like, okay, this works, but it's not, like, super iconic. I do like the main leitmotif of this. I do like how most Zelda games have like a main leitmotif that's used throughout the entire game, unless your name is like Breath of the Wild, in which case you'll use it in like one of the champion memories, the trailer, and the final boss, and then treat it like it was used throughout the adventure when it really wasn't. But most Zelda games will actually have their main leitmotif be throughout the adventure, and this game definitely did, and I did like that, how it was used. Like, it was used when you went into sword fighter form, and it would be like the triumphant do, 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 or it would be super relaxing at times, and like chill for certain cutscenes, and then it would come in like really hard for the final boss. I love it. Like, I love it when games do that with like a main theme slash leitmotifs. And the fact that the final boss battle used that leitmotif, the Legend of Zelda series leitmotif, and the Zelda's Lullaby leitmotif as a bit of a nod to the fact that you're playing Zelda in this game, that was really cool musically. Like, that was probably one of my favorite Legend of Zelda Final Battle themes. I don't know if it's my favorite. I think my favorite Legend of Zelda Final Battle theme might still be Spirit Tracks, which is a game that I could never get into gameplay-wise. Like, I couldn't for the life of me. But man, do I love the music of that game. And I think that one might still be #1 for Zelda Final Boss themes. But this one was pretty good. I did really like that Final Boss theme. I quite enjoyed it. So, the main theme that was used throughout the game, the Final Boss theme, and that one village kind of stood out to me. The rest just felt kind of alright, felt kind of mid. Like, they worked, they weren't bad, but nothing that really stood out. But there were definitely some themes that stood out, like I just listed there. But yeah, if there's a Poggers emote, you'd absolutely use it now? Yes, just yes. Probably gonna be up very late now because you took a very huge nap once you got home from taking care of your grandparents in the morning after fishing, so now you're gonna be late tonight. See, totally the Final Boss theme was really good. It really was. Like, that was definitely my favorite theme in the whole game. And okie doke, well, maybe I'll set that up later today. I'm not going to put up, like, the BRB screen and then do it right after this. I'm going to end stream and then go and do stuff that I need to do to, like, help set up the boat for the winter in the backyard. And then I'll do that later tonight. But yeah, I can start that in that case. I'm going to have to figure out where my PS5 is getting set up under my desk and switch my capture card from, like, Nintendo Switch to PS5 mode. Is what I'm going to have to do. Alright. I think that's all of those elements of, like, graphics, story, and music that I wanted to get through. The elephant in the room, gameplay. So, oh jeez, it was the prophecy. I still have a review to finish, though, is the case. I'm not wrapping it up, like, immediately. But, yeah, it really was. A prediction, I assume that is probably a typo for. The elephant in the room, the gameplay. I always say that I always prefer games doing something different rather than recycling the same exact thing over and over again. And honestly, I am glad that I played something that wasn't just like the gameplay of Link's Awakening again. That I got to experience something different. Even if I did like the gameplay of Link's Awakening more than this game. I would always appreciate games and series that are experimenting with doing different things across different games that give each game like its own unique identity rather than just recycling basically the exact same formula over again like Pokemon. So I do appreciate them doing something different, and the whole idea that apparently Aonuma had, as I read into that one developer interview, where wouldn't it be fun if you could place all sorts of objects and stuff around the world instead of just in like a dungeon maker? Wouldn't that be fun? That idea he had? I agree, it is fun. It is a fun premise. I do quite like being able to place around like whatever thing I want around the world. But the menuing is ass for it, and it gets harder and harder as you get more things trying to find the specific thing you need. And you can't even multi-assign different things to avoid needing to open that menu, because you only have one button for summons for like the entire game. It's only ever the Y button. Like, they should have absolutely had like 3 face buttons that you could do different things for. Like, maybe have B be the jump button, and then Y, X, and A are all different summon buttons. And then for like a grab button with try, that could be like one of the bumpers or something like that. Like maybe ZR could be the button for that. And that would be something that would make sense for one of the bumpers as a grab thing. And then you have Y, X, and A for at least 3 things. And then if you have like 3 things that you're bouncing around, like if you're in a boss battle and there's 3 specific summons that you want to use frequently, then you can summon each of those like on the fly without needing to remenu. Or if I'm making like my tower out of boxes, trampolines, and trees, then I don't have to remenu every single time I want to switch. Then I can just quickly do the 3. I think that would have been a far better control scheme. But the fact that you can only have one thing assigned, so the moment you want to summon anything else, you have to remenu every time, and the menu didn't learn any lessons from Tears of the Kingdom, and just has like the one super long bar, and like no favorites or anything, just makes it so hard to find the things that you need. Like, I started to get pretty good at finding the things I need, but still, the fact that you might need to scroll through 100+ different options to find the one thing that you need is ridiculous. And the fact that they were like, oh yeah, this is fine, and shipped it out is insane. Like, I could always just pause and go to the logbook, go to the specific tab that's a logbook. But you use that menu for so many different things, like the potions, or like your equipment and stuff like that. It's not just the logbook there. There's not like a quick button for just the logbook. I mean, assuming you leave the menu on the logbook and then press the menu button again, then I guess you would just be quick menuing back and forth from the logbook. And maybe it would have been a little bit easier on me if I just did that. I don't know, rather than using like the side menu. But I'm like so used to, especially now from Tears of the Kingdom, using the D-pad for like the quick menu to find what I need. And I got used to, like, the last thing used is usually going to be, or the last things used are probably going to be the things that I want to use here anyway. I would just try to quick menu to that specific thing. So I got used to using that quick menu. But then in the circumstances where I actually did need to search deeper into the menus, sometimes it would take me a little while. It would kind of suck there. So it was really painful to deal with sometimes. But yeah, I got one of the battle themes stuck in your head because it played in your dream. Just realized you should definitely do it tonight because if it ends up going into the next night, you'll be able to sub because tomorrow's your next sub day, so be able to do it super early in the morning. Nice and nice. Maybe an attack button so you don't have to wait around for echoes to do all their work. I'm not counting sword fighter mode. Yeah, apparently when they first started making this game, the plan was for Link to be the playable character, and he would get this power where you can place objects around. But then they were like, okay, if we want to focus the gameplay on these echoes though, then what's to stop the player from just relying on their normal sword and not really caring all that much about the echoes? So then they thought, okay, maybe we'll have like an extended tutorial where before you get the sword and shield, and then you'll get the echo wand, the tri wand, whatever it is. This is Frontier Village. I love Frontier Village from Xenoblade Chronicles. And then the players might feel more incentivized to keep on using the wand, but then they worried like, oh, maybe you'll get the sword and shield, which players will see as the superior thing, and then just start doing that. And realistically, yeah, I would have if that were the case. So then they were like, all right, we need to not have the sword and shield just in general. Let's have a new playable character. Let's have it be Zelda. And then they put in like the sword fighter mode so that you're not constantly sitting around and doing nothing. I guess they probably play tested it and figured that it was like super boring to just sit around and wait. So like, here's a method by which you can fight. But like the limited bar with sword fighter mode made it so like, I would only ever feel incentivized to use it when it was a boss battle, or I was getting really, really bored with how long I was waiting around for my echoes to defeat the right enemy. And I mean, I could have gotten more experimental, like maybe find the right echo that's gonna do like the most DPS against every specific enemy to beat them the fastest. But then I take all that time to go through my menu and find the echoes I'm looking for and experiment with them. When I don't really think about that in the moment. In the moment, all I think about is getting rid of the enemy that's in front of me so I can keep on moving. So that idea doesn't really even occur to me because, like, maybe even if it would save time in the long run, I didn't really care all that much. Like, I would experiment around a little bit with the bosses where, like, it does kind of matter a whole lot more. But random enemies in the field, I just didn't really do that with. And even if I was getting fragments here and there, I didn't want to rely on the fragments appearing because I wasn't sure what really caused it. They seem to appear from time to time in the still world, but in the overworld, I'm not entirely sure when the sword fighter fragments would spawn. So I was like, yeah, let's just not touch this just in case I need to save it for when things are actually tough. And there were some situations where things were actually tough that I would need to use it. But, like, I didn't want to be wasting the bar, if that makes sense. I mean, the other abilities in the sword fighter mode of, like, the bow and bombs, I never use the bombs except to blow up blocks, like, immediately after unlocking bombs. And the bow I only used when I absolutely needed to, so, like, the Volvagia fight. I just didn't feel all that incentivized to use them. And because anytime you're in sword fighter mode, the bar is going down, you can see from the way I handle bosses, I would literally just go into sword fighter mode, get, like, a hit or two as long as the opening lasts, and then just turn off sword fighter mode. If I can only get one hit, then it'd be like sword fighter mode, hit, get sword fire mode out of here. And then you're sitting through like the animation, which is not super long, of going in and out of sword fire mode. But it kind of, that brief pause kind of takes you out of the action. The fact that you're just like switching to, I'm able to attack, I get one attack. Switching out of being able to attack to waste as little of the bar as possible. So it was definitely quite an experience dealing with the combat of this game. It would have been nice just to have some permanent means of fighting, rather than, you can fight as good as Link, but only temporarily as this bar goes down, so you have to really rely on your echoes. And relying on the echoes was not super great because the AI was not super great. Like, I guess it would have been better now with this knowledge that I could lock on to force them to target the thing that I want them to target. But even then, they were not always, like, super reliable. And, like, it's just not super engaging just sitting around and waiting for the Dudos to go fight my battles for me. Like, I'll always prefer a game where I'm the one doing the actions rather than sitting around and watching AI fight. Unless it's like a turn-based game like Fire Emblem where, yes, it's an AI fighting, but I see exactly what's going to happen and I strategize around that. As opposed to a real-time action game like this, where I just sit around and watch things happen however they happen. I mean, there's no downside to your echoes losing since you just immediately get back those notches and you can just resummon them on the spot. There's never any downside to that. So it's literally just like sit around and wait and win eventually. Even if you're summoning Dudos that are way weaker than the guys that you're facing, just keep on resummoning them, press the button over and over as many times as it takes until they win. is what it boiled down to. And it's just really not that engaging, honestly. You saw a lot of problems with the game too. Is that the only big thing they planned back then? They didn't plan how to improve the game since back then? How to make some bits not a pain in the ass? I'm sure they probably did in some regards. I'm sure that sword fighter mode came to be because playtesters were probably getting frustrated with not being able to like act at all. But then taking that away at the end and just having the final boss be one where it's like you just have to watch for the most part. Just dodge, try to get your guys in an advantageous position, and hope for the best. Like, you can't actually hit the boss yourself. Just really sucked. Also because you just uploaded the last episode of the Symphonia series, figured that could be a good start for another RPG to be uploaded to the channel. Well, I mean, there is another RPG with, not Paper Mario. Mario and Luigi Partners in Time right now. But yeah, with good old Final Fantasy. Lockham would have, yeah, it would have definitely helped the echoes in combat. So I wish I'd realized that, but oh well. But still, it is kind of sucky. And it really went to show, like, how much I was relying on Sword Fighter mode for, like, the big encounters, considering that final stretch felt really, really painful. Like, sitting around waiting for Link to attack, and, hoping that my echoes do the right thing. Like, that Lionel. I still hate that Lionel. The fact that he would one-shot me at full health. And that kind of ties into what I was talking about with difficulty before, where my favorite hardest difficulty modes in video games are ones that change how you play the game and how you interact with the world. I think I was mentioning it during the final boss, but I don't know how I'm going to cut this up into parts later, whether it's going to be, like, failed attempts at the final boss in one part, and then, like, the successful attempt, and I don't know if I talked about that during the successful attempt, or if anybody could just be watching this video, just this section, to see my review. So, like, I know I said it earlier this stream, but I'll say it again then. Well, how it worked with The Last of Us, which is, like, my favorite hardest difficulties in video games, I think, is it fundamentally changed how you play the game, because normally it would have a mode called Listen Mode, where you hold a button, you hold one of the bumpers, and then you can see enemies, like, through walls and where they're going and stuff. And you can plan things out accordingly, since, like, information is extremely important when you play The Last of Us. So that's taken away from you. So you need to actually be listening. Like, it's good to have headphones and have your volume up high and just listen closely for where they are, where you hear some stip stomping or where you hear, like, some zombie groans, and keep an eye out for, like, where people are going. And, like, I would die a lot in that game on the hardest difficulty. Like, I would get pretty shredded. But the checkpoints were always, like, pretty generous, and I would restart not that long ago. And then I'd go into it with, like, more and more information each time. So, like, oh, there's a guy that, like, jump scared me around the corner that I didn't realize was there. Now I have that information, now I'm not gonna go around that corner. And I get better and better every attempt. So, even if I'm failing, it never feels like I'm stumped, because I'm getting more information every time, and I continue to advance. And I never played The Last of Us normally. I usually just play games on the hardest difficulty, like, on my first playthrough through. So I had no idea what Listen Mode was even like. And I remember, I think it was Eagle that was telling me, like, oh god, don't play Grounded on your first playthrough, you're gonna suffer. I loved it. I thought it was great. Like, I never had any dependency built up on this Listen Mode because I had never used it before. And I just played the game for the first time with just paying super close attention. And I had a lot of fun doing that. And I thought that the not having UI might screw me at first. To be more specific, it does give you UI for, like, when you're switching weapons and stuff, or going into your inventory. It gives you that. It just doesn't give you, like, the thing at the bottom right that shows your health, but you can still kind of kind of figure it out by like how your character's acting. Like, are they clutching their chest? Are they hurting? Or is there red effects around the screen? And I'd just be dying so frequently and going back to the last checkpoint that it's like, okay, that's how much damage I can take before I die. So it wasn't a super big deal, though I might have still liked the health bar. But the bigger thing was not having your ammo. Like, you can go into your inventory and see how much total ammo you have, but normally most games would have like the amount of bullets that you currently have in your gun and the amount that you have in reserve. But because that was gone, you needed to actually mentally keep track. So there would be times that some guy's charging me, I pull out the pistol and shoot, or try to shoot, and then it just clicks and nothing happens because I'm not loaded, and then I die. I'm like, oh god, I forgot to load! So I need to actually be on top of reloading my weapons, making sure that they're all at full capacity as often as they could be, because the game isn't going to tell me that. And I honestly thought that was super fun. Like, if I try to shoot and I'm not loaded and someone kills me, that was like one of the most, okay, I deserve that kind of moments that I felt in a video game. So stuff like Last of Us Grounded, the hard mode, where it fundamentally changes how you play the game, those are the kinds of hard modes that I really enjoy in video games, where it changes how the game is played. But hard modes in Legend of Zelda games, they're usually the same across all the Legend of Zelda games. Like, this one is no real different, where there's hero mode, where it's like you're taking double damage and hearts don't spawn. And that's been pretty consistent for hero modes across the Legend of Zelda series. And honestly, not really the biggest of fans. Like, was it Reggie Bump earlier in the stream before dipping out that was saying that it felt like it was balanced around the expectation that you'd be filling up like all your heart containers? Which, yeah, it probably is. And traditionally, for a long time, the Legend of Zelda series had it be so that you could only play like the normal mode at first, and then after you've beaten the game the first time, then you unlock hero mode. I am glad that that's no longer the case. I really hate it when video games lock their hardest difficulties behind beating the game for the first time, but it does feel very much like the expectation is that you'll be going around collecting all the things to make it easier in hero mode. Because just the enemies are doing double damage when some of them are already hitting so hard that if you get hit, even with 11 hearts, they're gonna be one-shotting you. So the expectation there is very much that you're gonna be filling up your heart containers. To not be getting one-shot just feels kind of ridiculous. Like, the Lionel one-shotting me, and then the Ganon Dash one-shotting me just kind of sucked. And then having to redo this segment, especially during the final boss, where it's the 11-phase final boss, and if you fail anywhere along there, which there's a decent chance of me getting one-shot, because there were some boss attacks like the Ganon Lunge that would just straight up one-shot me like 20 to 30 minutes into the fight, and I have to restart the whole thing. It's just a really shitty feeling. Like, it wasn't super great. How many times have you died during the final boss? At least like 4 or 5, but the attempts were long. I died a lot and we're getting frustrated during the fake final boss. I enjoyed the fake final boss a lot more than the true final boss, because the true final boss was like a 20 to 30 minute boss fight, whereas the fake final boss is more like a FromSoft kind of boss fight where it'll take like a few minutes, where it'll be hard for those few minutes, but it'll only take like maybe 4 or 5 minutes, maybe a little bit longer than a Soulsborne boss. The fake Ganon was, I'd say, but still on the shorter side. So it's like you're not losing that much progress. But having like half an hour go down the drain because I got one shot just sucks. Yeah, that's what I said. Like, there should be like checkpoints during the phases, considering there's 11 phases. Like, what the hell? It's so long. Just realized that was the biggest reason when they talk about Minecraft recently, because of the new update or live event or the Mojang that just came out. We were talking about Minecraft a lot the other day because we were talking about the Minecraft series is where it started. Because I was asked about if there was like any plans to continue the Minecraft series in the near future. I was talking about that. I only just found out about it and realized that could be why Minecraft was discussed yesterday. No, it's because my series came up. Final Fantasy 16 does that with every boss in the game that has multiple phases. Hopefully they're not like half an hour to 40 minutes long. And hopefully I won't find them as brutal as this game. And the whole final segment, taking away the sword fighter mode and literally needing to rely on Link and your own summons, just felt really, really shitty. Because it felt like an escort mission where you're the escort. Like, you can't actually fight the enemies. You just have to hope that your AI allies that are escorting you are going to protect you well enough, is basically what it was. Like, as I got more and more into the final boss, there was more strategy that went into it. Like, get to the segments where they're holding the, whatever the hell they're called. I'm just gonna keep calling them Lumas because it's funny. Get to the parts where they're holding Lumas and, like, put down your spawns there to try to stop him from doing, like, the special attacks. So, like, there would be strategy that would come in later. But for the most part, the whole final boss just felt like Dodge Simulator. And then, Is that a thing I could do? I could spawn rocks and throw them? I didn't know that. I'm sure that there's a lot of little niche things like that in the game that you can do. Though, I'm pretty sure you can spawn things above your head and then you start holding them in the 2D segments, because I found that out with like the bombs and things, where if you hold up and then spawn something, then it's in your hands, you can immediately throw it. But as far as I'm aware, I don't think there was a way to do that in like the overworld where it's, well, there's all 2D, but like where you're just moving left and right and up and down on like the 2D planes, where it's like you're going left and right and jump is your up and down. You know what I mean for that, right? And then when you're holding up, it does that because right on top of you. But when you have the top down view and then you're aiming either like forward, back, left, or right, I don't think that you can spawn them right on your head anymore. I don't know if I would have had enough of an opening to spawn something beside me, lift it up, and therefore be stuck in place while I'm doing that, and then throw it when I basically had to be like dodge simulator. Like maybe when he's charging up his spell and he's doing his like wavy thing like Squidward's dance, then I could have maybe spawned one of the 5 triangle guys and then use my last triangle to just be spawning rocks and throwing, and then maybe getting more DPS than my Octorok would. Maybe that might have helped me. But I don't know, that just felt like really crummy, just having the final boss be dodge simulator while I see Link playing the game that I want to play, of actually being able to fight and do things. And I don't remember who it was, but I think someone had suggested during a previous stream, like, what if Zelda had spells that she could cast or something like that, like elemental spells, and then you have like a range attack where you can contribute. And I do think that would have made the game a lot more fun. Therefore, you still have a kit that's like differentiating you from Link, so it's not the exact same Legend of Zelda game that you're used to. But you have a means to like engage with the enemies in the world, and then it's more engaging rather than you just like waiting around for your guys to be able to do damage. I think if Zelda had castable spells, like, it would have been more enjoyable. Could have spawned things and thrown them the entire time? Yeah, I don't think that it would have been all that worth it unless the final boss was stuck in place, which maybe I would have gotten more DPS than the Octorok, but yeah, I don't know. But the thing that I did really like about this game was the puzzles. I might have already talked about that earlier because I talked about the menu frustration. I really do like how with any given situation, there's like multiple solutions and creative ways to like work around things that the developers might not have expected. I remember reading the developer interviews and Aonuma saying that with this much freedom, there are things that you can probably figure out to do that are just gonna like make things super easy, like basically cheese them over and basically feel like you're cheating. But that's where a lot of the fun from games this free comes from, is to come up with something so creative that it feels like you're cheating. Like when I was stuck behind those bars and there was the one ladder up on the other side to hit the switch, so presumably I was expected to go out and do like that person did in the long play, to find like the secret path in and then hit the switch and then like the normal entrance is open. But the fact that I was just able to send out a slug that like slowly walked over in the exact direction to the switch because I knew they walk in exact straight lines and just let me in, and I got to skip the whole segment of needing to go in around. Stuff like that feels good when you find like creative solutions in unexpected ways to get through things easier. Or like my parkour towers that I would make to just get up to areas and get like some pieces of heart and stuff like that. Stuff like that where you're using your own creativity to feel like you're cheating to find new solutions to things. That kind of thing feels good. I think that was definitely the strongest elements of this game. And I feel like if the menuing was handled a lot better, like it could have felt a whole lot more fun. Like, it just felt more frustrating with the menuing sometimes, but solving puzzles in like my own creative ways with my summons was definitely the most fun I had with this game. I really liked it, and it made me feel like I was solving puzzles in a way like I haven't in any of the previous Zelda games I played. So I really liked this new approach and genuinely had fun with that. But menuing being awful, the story being nothing special, and the general gameplay just being like really boring and like awful with the menuing, just really held this game back for me. So there was elements that I liked, but generally I was not the biggest fan of this game. It's one of those games that I can look at and be like, okay, there's things that I do like about the game, but the overall experience, I was honestly not the biggest fan. No, I like other puzzles. I'm just saying that this is like something different compared to what I played before. And it is honestly like some of the most fun I've had with puzzles in a Zelda game in a while, because it feels like I'm coming up with my own solutions. I definitely like the shrine puzzles of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but I did appreciate how this was something so different compared to other things, rather than just recycling the same thing over and over again. So that was definitely my favorite part of the game. If I had to name a second favorite part, I don't know if I even could. Like, I guess the final battle theme for like one tiny element, you could say. If that counts. Yeah, but whatever they were called. Were they called Zonai Shrines? Whatever the heck they are. The, better or worse? I don't know. I never actually put as much time into Tears of the Kingdom as I did Breath of the Wild. I think I enjoyed the Breath of the Wild ones more. The Tears of the Kingdom ones were more based around, like, the contraptions that you could build, which was kind of cool, too. But I think I prefer the Breath of the Wild puzzles more myself. Though, Tears of the Kingdom does have a lot more. Breath of the Wild had 120, and Tears of the Kingdom, I think, had, like, 160, something like that? I don't remember. I don't remember what it was. I never did them all. So, yeah. There were aspects I liked about this game, but overall, this game needs a lot of polish, I would say. If it had better menuing and the lag was fixed, those are the two biggest things. Like, if those two were fixed, then this game would work a whole lot better. And then if I had to choose a third thing, give you some way to interact with enemies in the world without needing sword fighter mode. Give, like, Zelda means to cast spells or something like that, so you can actually fight without needing to use, like, your finite bar. Those would probably be, like, the three biggest things I would change if I got to choose, like, 3 things that change about this game. If those were changed, then I would still have complaints about the other things. But I would have liked this game a whole lot more because I would have been able to actively engage with it a lot more frequently. But yeah, as is, elements that I liked, not the biggest fan overall. I don't think that, like, if I knew what this experience would be like, and I wasn't a content creator, so I wasn't picking this up to cover on the channel, and I had to decide whether to pick up this game or not, and I somehow had the entire game experience projected into my brain to know what I know now about it, to decide whether or not it's worth full price, I don't think I'd pick it up, honestly. I don't think I'd pay $80 for this game. Like, for something like this, I think maybe I'd pay, like, half, like, maybe 40, maybe 50 if Nintendo's pushing it. I'd say, in its current state, maybe I'd pay like 40 for it, or like, well, when you consider the lag issues and how hard it makes it to play, then maybe like 30. But if they fixed making the game actually function, then maybe 40, maybe I'd say like a half price game. I don't know, but I don't think this game is worth full price. Yeah, it felt like a mid-Zelda game, is what it is. Again, I very much appreciate it being a very different Zelda game compared to previous ones, but the execution just felt not super great, so I'm not the biggest fan here. Zelda's BDSP game? Maybe. The closest thing Zelda would get to that. If they do update this game, I hope it's a roguelike mode. That'd be kind of cool. And that would work perfectly with this gameplay system of having echoes. Yeah, having like dungeons that you traverse through and you just get whatever the dungeon presents to you along the way, and those are the echoes that you can use to progress, and you need to... And then that forces you to experiment with echoes that maybe you weren't using during the main game. That now these are the few echoes that you get, so you have to use them and you have to find the way forward with that. Like, that would be really cool. This game would work really, really well for a roguelike mode. Oh, also when it comes to coming up with your own solutions, the fact that I was able to get through this whole game without spawning a bed, that was pretty cool. Despite the fact that there were definitely some roadblocks there where the game clearly wanted you to use beds, and it was really hard for me to get by without using beds. But I managed to do it. I'm now the world record holder for bedless %. And if we do want to count it as like one continuous run, like even though this was different streams, if we want to count it like start to finish in terms of real life time, that means I set the world record of bedless % at... When did I start playing this on Thursday? When was it on Thursday that I started playing this? Oh god, I don't remember now. Was it around midday? It was in the early afternoon-ish? I don't know, let's say it was around like 2 p.m. So 24 hours, 48 hours. Let's say it's like 51 hours, maybe 52 hours. Just to give a little bit of wiggle room, because I'm not entirely sure I remember when I started. Let's say I totally set the new bedless % world record of The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom at 52 hours, because I'm just that high skill of a video gamer. But yeah, honestly, with this camera angle, it almost looks like it could be a 3D style Pokemon game. It would be absolutely disgusting, but you'd see it. No, because you get into bed after beating the fake final boss. I categorize bedless % as no spawning in beds. And yeah, maybe I am the first bedless % dudo. Like, I usually don't do challenge runs on the channel much anymore, apart from playing on the hardest difficulty. in the early days of the channel, like, especially around 2019, I used to pride myself on doing as many challenge runs as I could, playing games in, like, very unique ways that no one else was doing. But then I noticed that I wasn't exactly getting any more views than I would normally, so I was like, I guess there's not really any point in doing that. So I don't really try to do, like, special challenge runs apart from the hardest difficulty around here much anymore. But when I saw how frequently beds were being used in the trailers, I was like, I'm just gonna do bedless percent just for fun, just for shits and giggles, because all the trailers portray beds like they're the Swiss Army knife of movement tools. And from playing through this game, I can see how beds would be like the Swiss Army knife of of movement tools. And so I kind of enjoy doing bedless percent here. It depends on them. Like, playing Undertale's genocide route with oven mitts, did I enjoy playing it at the time? No. But do I like the pride and accomplishment that came with saying I've beaten Undertale's genocide route while wearing oven mitts? So I literally couldn't feel the buttons on my keyboard and literally had to just mash my mitts against the buttons and hope for the best. Like, that's a cool accomplishment I can say that I did now. Or beating Subspace Emissary on the hardest difficulty using a Cabell's Wiimote rifle, where if I wanted to press the B button to do a special move, I'd have to pump the barrel of the rifle. Like, stuff like that that's kind of unique and fun and silly. It's fun to look back on that and say, like, hey, that's a goofy way that I did that. But I mean, ones that are like beating Super Luigi U with one hand, like, that's not one that I draw attention to as much, because it's not like a goofy, unheard of thing. I'm sure there's people that beat video games one-handed all the time. Like, maybe I'll see myself doing more, like, special challenges one day in, like, the more goofy way, like oven mitts or the Wiimote rifle. And I mean, I usually have as a points redemption during my 24-hour cherry streams. Play with oven mitts for 10 minutes, because it is just kind of goofy not being able to feel the buttons and just mashing all the keys. Like, I do think that that's kind of fun, but yeah, I don't really do all that many special challenges anymore. I don't know if I'd count bedless percent as a special challenge. It's just a challenge that would make an extra hard roadblock every once in a while. Not like persistently throughout the game, but every once in a while it would present some difficulty. And once I got clouds, then it didn't really matter much anyway. So maybe I could have just done long item spawning, no using that percent in general. Because clouds kind of became the stand-in for that eventually anyway. Just even better because they can spawn in the air, just they can't stay on them as long. But yeah, beat lost levels with Power Glove. Yeah, that's what I better do. So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to say about the game. I think that's pretty much it. I will also say that with the whole summons, even if they have like the exact same amount of health as fighting them out in the field, it very much felt like those memes of the boss when you fight them, and then the boss when you unlock them as a playable character. Hold on, I think I have an example of that in like one of my Metroid memes, my Going Alive folder with Ridley. Hold on, let's see here. Is it this one that I'm thinking of? Yeah, kind of like this is what it's kind of like. This is what the summons felt like in the game. The final boss when you fight him versus unlocking him as a playable character. This is very much what it felt like throughout the game for like all the summons. Because I'm sure they have the same amount of health, but like just watching them like slowly fighting away against other enemies compared to how hard they are for you to take down in the first place. Plus when you have bosses that the moment they so much as walk over them, they just immediately despawn. Like they, instead of getting pushed aside or just taking damage, it's yeah. Certainly something there. Never recorded this, but you beat Donkey Kong Country while you were upside down, and you're proud of that achievement. Nice. Alright, well, because you woke up from your nap, you have to get back to doing some stuff. Just wanted to listen to the review. Yeah, I think that's basically everything that I had to say. And yeah, I'm down to start Final Fantasy 16 later tonight, because again, my only other ongoing things, apart from Unicorn Overlord, that I can just do in like an hour and a half, whatever I feel like doing the final map. It doesn't have to be tonight. I basically need another game to add as like my regular go-to stream game since other things are being spaced out. So I'm down to wrap up this RPG and immediately start another RPG tonight of Final Fantasy 16. Only, what, like half a year overdue from when you gave me a PS5 as a gift? I mean, that'd be like, we can say end of April, early May. Let's say it's the beginning of May. It's currently the end of September. So May is the 5th month. So 6, 7, 8, 9. So 4 months later. So not quite half a year. So, hey, it only took me like 4 months, is the case. Yeah, I can follow up with you and, like, get stuff figured out there. It'll probably be sometime later tonight. I'll go help my dad tarp up the boat for the winter so it's all ready for snow and all that. Probably get some food, and then be here at the ready to do some more stuff later tonight. But yeah, if this game had really engaged me, then I would have continued with the playthrough to go around and unlock the rest of the map. But because it really didn't, I don't really feel motivated to. I'm content just beating the game and that's it. If they do add new modes later, like a roguelike mode, then I would come back and play it just to showcase it. But as it stands, I think that's the end of the playthrough. Like, I'm good with what I did, I think. So, do we prepped for that final map, though, in Final Fantasy 16 or in this game here? Because, yeah, yikes, it was definitely scary here. So, yeah. I'm gonna wrap up the stream for now. Gonna go do stuffs that I gotta do. Greatly appreciate everybody that tuned into the Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom stream here, the playthrough. Yeah, it has been a pretty long review. I had a lot of things I want to say about this game. The next time that we play Legend of Zelda on this channel, I don't know what it's gonna be. The next time we play Legend of Zelda on this channel probably won't be for a while, and if I had to guess, most likely it'll be either Wind Waker or Twilight Princess. Most likely. Because I would like to get all the 3D Zelda games done, and those are the only mainline ones I haven't done yet. I'm saying mainline, so I'm not counting, like, Triforce Heroes in this. Wait, I guess that one would technically be 2D rather than a 3D. That would count as like a 2D top-down kind of one. So in terms of the 3D Zelda games, I'm only missing Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, so I'll probably do them one day. But for now, I think I'm good on the Zelda content for now. I think I'm good. So that won't be for a while, but whenever the next Zelda playthrough happens on the channel, most likely it'll be one of those. Most likely. We shall see here. So, yeah. Until next time, whenever that be. And next time, in terms of real lifetime, is going to be going right into Final Fantasy 16. Let's play another RPG, how about? I'm going to need to find where I put my disc on the shelf. It's on my game shelf somewhere. I'm going to have to pull it out and put it in. So I think Last of Us Part 2 is in the system right now. Gotta go find my discs. This is what I better do. So, yeah. Until next time, take care, and see ya.